Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final series of United Rogue Season 18. The road ends here. Every other series has been played. Every other champion has been crowned, except for one in the Noodle Cup Series. And we're going to be taking it all the way, hopefully, to a winner-take-all Game 7. But we'll see exactly what happens when we get there. The Vancouver Wild and the Santa Fe Kings will face off in a match of destiny to determine who exactly will be taking home the hardware. And the journey for both of these teams kind of mirrors each other all the way from group stage, but we'll see exactly who has bragging rights at the very end. Pyro Squared on the desk, joined by Sizz. And, well, it's not just crowning a champion. There's another couple storylines that we've been talking about so far when it comes to exactly who's on the field and what is at stake for these players.
What is at stake indeed? Looking to be the first duo crowned as back-to-back Noodle Cup Series champions with Foam and Light. What a storyline that is. And honestly, Pi, I mean, just saving the best for last. We all know the excitement, the energy, the hype surrounding the Noodle Cup Series. It has been one of our most popular leagues for so long, and with good reason. Everyone in this league is so competitive. But to be so competitive that you have a chance to be a two-time back-to-back is almost unheard of across the entire league, let alone in the Noodle Cup Series. So, Pi, it's going to be so crazy to watch these teams battle it out. Can we get massive spoilers by Santa Fe, or are we going to see a two-time champion? I can't wait to watch these guys get on the field.
And it's interesting because we've had two-time, even three-time champions before in terms of just being individual players on different teams, different franchises, what have you. But when you have a chance for a pair of players to go back to back, that thing's a little bit more difficult, I think, than it may seem because, well, if you're more lucky than good, maybe you get towards back-to-back finals, but you have to win both of those. So we'll go ahead and get everybody on the field. We'll try to get game one underway very shortly. Both of these teams relatively middle of the pack in terms of the overall playoff contenders in the Western Conference. They both ended the regular season at 10-5, but then once the playoffs started, they got their wheels under them and they got going, and 5 minutes on the clock, game one will be underway.
Got going indeed. And really for both these teams, I want to see some good early filling period of this first game, but I want to see a lot of scared gameplay. I think of all the players on this field, I think Colby is really going to be the one I'm looking out for the most, looking for those aggressive plays. Speaking of Vancouver, already starting early with some offensive pressure. Well, that theater life is just saying two demos in the backfield is going to have a lot of space for a team that is definitely not afraid to be aggressive, looking for the demos as well. It's such an interesting sight to see when they see two very aggressive teams, both very defensively gifted, but parsing on the ability to be up in your half the entire game.
And you talk about Colby and really a lot of the players that are on the field currently and in the upper tier of NCS, they do have that Ramen Bowl experience. Many of these players have played a couple seasons in Ramen Bowl, and just, due to natural rank decay or skill decay or what have you, they find themselves in the Noodle Cup Series. So with all of that being said, minute and a half come and gone in game number one. Vancouver in their light blue, Santa Fe in their trademark greens. Insect Gobbler, better known as Butter Saucer, I think, to the rest of the league. Preferring for Zork, Kolb will come screaming off of the back line to challenge Foam at the middle of the field, but Foam will win that challenge. Not really a whole lot of boost behind the play. They'll try to get the ground pinch to go through, but again, not really a whole lot in terms of teammate support. So the attack will peter out for the moment and allow Santa Fe to get themselves a little bit of a jump start on offense.
early on, nothing too crazy here. A couple shots for both these teams, a few demos here and there, and another demo in the backfield. Foam opening up a little bit of space. And Vancouver, every time they've been what seems a little bit awkward on the defensive side, they've cleared up space with the demo, which is something you definitely want to be doing, especially in the current season of Rocket League. Of course, we mentioned these are Noodle Cup Series players with Ramen Bowl experience. However, with the Noodle Cup expansion going up to those higher salaried, low salary Ramen players, it's not really too much of a surprise to see them here and to see them in such comfortable fashion, having that Ramen Bowl experience, leading them to the Noodle Cup Series finals. Light trying to get a counterattack past this halfway mark. Both teams still scoreless. Nothing we didn't expect here. A lot of defense pushing up here. Foam is gonna own goal, and just when you thought you couldn't see better defense, Foam said, "Well, maybe not."
That's certainly one of the ways of all time to open the scoring, especially when it comes to game one of a grand final when you're trying to win some hardware. And I mean, we've been there, and definitely all the way up to RLCS, you see own goals in the most important of games, but unfortunately for Vancouver, not quite the start they were looking for. Might find themselves even further behind as the ball gets played over the head of almost everybody on the defensive side for Vancouver. Foam the only one with boost, and they're going to be required to get that ball out of the danger zone, so they'll mitigate the offensive pressure for a moment. But Santa Fe, with that boost advantage, trying to push down the field. Colby trying to run interference and perhaps force another goal to go through, but Santa Fe comes up empty once again. Colby is intercepted at the midfield line by Sifri. The attack will stall.
So quick shot forces a double commit. We're seeing Santa Fe starting to get a lot more comfortable on the offensive side of things. Vancouver all struggling for boost right now. Light's the only one with a little bit in the tank. Tries to get a clear, and Zork is right there to follow, looking to double, not quite. Third out, Cole wanting to keep the pressure in. A little bit of a heavy touch. Don't quite think that's what they were looking for in the moment. A little bang here from Sifri trying to just get the ball out. Boom, sidewall, corner read, not quite there. And this offensive possession for Vancouver stalls right back into their half. A demo from inside Gobbler. Kolb, the bump, gets dusted for the efforts. Foam, a nice pop, but no one quite there. Going to try to follow, but it is denied again on the goal line. Both teams holding strong on the defensive side of things, but Vancouver desperately searching for a little bit of offensive pressure. It feels like they've had a few measly shot attempts, but nothing really threatening here. That's a quick shot, and it's denied again on the goal line.
Really, ever since that goal has gone through against Vancouver, it seems more like Santa Fe's had a better opportunity at the run of play. They've had a few more high danger chances, I would say, as Sifri punts this one away towards the sidewall. Colby trying to hold things up at the middle of the field. Insect Gobbler played away by Light, intercepted by Zorth. They're gonna have a double opportunity off the backboard, putting it on a platter for Insect Gobbler, who finds the far post.
Talk about a nail in the coffin here. Just a gorgeous pass here. Zork setting it all up with the 50 pass Cifaldo, and just, oh, when you look at that placement from the Insect Gobbler, putting the stamp on this game number one. 2-0 here with 11 seconds to go. Has to be desperation here for Vancouver. Kolb's going to take time, lots of time, take all the time you need, down to 5 seconds. At this point, the game is practically over. Pinch to secure it, doesn't matter. Santa Fe is going to take this first game comfortably off a great pass to end it again on the goal line. No, can't get it to go. Game one goes to Santa Fe.
And what you really want to see from your playmakers is showing up in force when it matters most. And Buttersaucer, or Insect Gobbler, is their in-game name, displays currently, getting that second goal, that oh so important insurance. They've been doing it all season, the leading goal scorer for this Kings roster. Meanwhile, for Vancouver, being held off the scoreboard entirely, not really that great of a shot differential when we really look at things, but when you look at the physical play style, all that far right corner of that stat sheet, that demos goes strictly in favor of Vancouver. So they'd be focusing a little bit too much on the wrong things, or just not really getting what they're looking for off of that physical play.
Yeah, and I think those demos helped them so much defensively, but carrying it over into the offense, it really seemed like they were just struggling. There was a few times where they had maybe an opportunity or space on the field, and they didn't really take advantage of it. It was a quick attempt off of a double on the sidewall or a really difficult solo play. And I'd love to see them implement those offensive demos and trying to seek and maybe grab a few boosts. But Santa Fe really upped the pressure, especially after that unfortunate own goal. And it seemed like the mental and the momentum of that game really shifted. But still, nonetheless, Pi, this is a best of 7. There's a lot of Rocket League left to be played. And if anything, we know what happens when people own goal. We saw Zen do it. And I think that's just motivation to be better. A nice save from Cefaldo. Can he get another one? What is this recovery? What a defensive stand here.
You really don't want to find yourself under the gun, because even though it is a best of 7 series, going down by 2 games early on doesn't really bode well for your chances, and even so much as giving up the opening goal for 2 games in a row, not the best look. But what is a good look is Vancouver finally getting on the right side of the score sheet, and Sifri from defense to offense is the one who's enabling that.
Just a little bit of a unfortunate, I would say, own goal, but really it was just an awkward touch on the defense, leads to the first Vancouver goal after 5.5 minutes of gameplay. So maybe not the way you were expecting it on the scoreboard, but then again, you could say the same for Santa Fe's last game. Flipping the script almost here. Light, it's going to take a 50 out to mid. Butter Saucer also inside Cefaldo. Wonderful rhyme scheme there, is able to get it out. That's a nice touch from Cefaldo. Water falling down, and Zork's able to get the clear. I really want to see how Vancouver can establish this offensive pressure. They've had a good little bit of a run here, but they've got to be careful not to overcommit. They get a little comfortable on the goal line. It leads to some awkward saves, just like the season.
One more interesting piece of trivia that we'd like to point out. These 2 teams actually did face off in the regular season. It was all the way back in week 3. The rosters looked a little bit different. I mean, in terms of Santa Fe, it wasn't really that much of a difference in terms of who was on the field playing, but for Vancouver, they had a complete, almost roster overhaul between week 3 and the end of the season, and who's actually on the field right now. So, result of that was Vancouver won that series 3-0. But given everything that's happened since then, we could be looking a little bit for a different result. Already on the board is Vancouver, so they're able to hold this scoreline. They will bring themselves back in terms of an even playing field for this series, but right now it's all Santa Fe looking to tie the game. They will come away empty-handed. 2 minutes left to play. Vancouver looking to push, trying to extend their lead. Light gets denied.
And thought that Santa Fe was about to get on the goal line score right there from Zork. Just couldn't quite find the net. That's a quick shot, a quick pass, denied by Kolb. Kolb so fast on the ball, able to follow through with a double touch. Foam's gonna dive. Ball goes right to Zork, looking for the infield pass, but it's a great read from Foam. Slow play here, baiting one in for the 50. Cefaldo, the backboard, looking for the double. It's a great read again. Both teams really upping the pressure here. And offensive presence, no hesitation in their challenges so far. Leading to quite a bit of boomer ball, it feels like, but still, there's a lot of maintaining of the possession here. Light looking for a quick shot. It's gonna get a demo instead. It's gonna clear up some space off the sidewall. The air dribble, looking for the bump, makes it awkward enough for Zork, but no one there for Vancouver to follow up. I don't know if there was a little bit of a miscommunication, but it might just lead to an open net. Foam, can you secure it? Yes, you can. What in the world, Santa Fe? What happened?
This is all off of the back of a missed corner boost grab by Butter Saucer in that right side corner of their own net. They end up missing it, taking too long to address the ball. They get demoed and they get forced to the other side of the field. And that resource deficit is then what allows Vancouver to go on their offensive push the next 10-15 seconds, eventually resulting in that second goal. So you can already see, if you have those resources, what can happen when you have it and when your opponent doesn't.
And of course, especially at this level in the finals, you're going to see the tiniest of mistakes will be punished. A quick shot, can't quite get it to go. Kolb trying to get this ball out, couldn't quite get there, but Zork was there to follow. 50 out to midfield. Butter Saucer, not enough boost, just getting a light touch, not a good touch, straight down to Light. Cefaldo pre-jumping the pass, looking for a double attempt. I don't quite know if I'm a huge fan of that double off the backboard, but still, it leads to a little bit of pressure. pinch mid, double demo on the mid line is going to clear up space. Butter Saucer elects for the fake, does get one to bite, but Light is there for the clear. Never mind, Kolb said, give me that ball, pre-jumps it right back in, but still, Santa Fe is being held scoreless after so much effort on the offensive side. They cannot find a goal right now.
Really a flip of the script compared to what we saw in game number 1, where it was Vancouver who was being held off of the scoreboard, and goals seemingly coming at a premium. Almost like it takes a little bit of a giveaway from the defense in order to find yourself any sort of offensive success. At least that seems to be the consistent trend from what we've had throughout the first game and 3 quarters. Colby through the midfield. Zork will be the next to address. They get it over foam, but Sifri on low boost, able to clear it off of the goal line. They'll continue out, trying to pop the ball into a dangerous position, but no real support until Sifri reverses into their own pass off of the sidewall. Sifri again, seemingly finding themselves in the position that they need to be in order to keep the ball onto this Santa Fe half. Even though there's plenty of boosts to go around for the Kings, they can't really find a way to address the deficit. They still find it on their way. 10 seconds to go. They finally get one to go through. Question is, have they left themselves enough time?
Well, it took them long enough indeed, but a great shot from Zork just forces a double commit. Anytime you force a double commit, you know there will be gaps. Capitalizing here. Game not quite over yet. 9 seconds to go. You got to see some kickoff magic here. If you're Santa Fe, Kolb loses it to the left. Zork is there. Quick pop to the backboard. Foam pre-jumping. The second touch. Butter Saucer waiting infield. Light's going to take control. The 50 down does not go in their favor. Vancouver tie the series.
So, after 2 games, we're back to where we started in terms of being completely deadlocked and not sure who exactly has an advantage in this series. Santa Fe having scored 3 goals over 2 games compared to Vancouver's 2 goals. Seems like they may have an edge in that category, but when you really look at the shot totals, again, not really that much of a disparity between the 2 teams. And this time, the Santa Fe Kings look like they've caught up a little bit in terms of the overall physical play stat. That might have been to their detriment as well, because it seems like whoever's chasing those demos kind of puts themselves not in a position to succeed on the offensive side of the ball. We've seen that through 2 straight games now, but offense seemingly coming at a premium like we talked about in the middle of that game number 2. So something I think is going to give, because we've seen a lot of series where it appears to be tight, at least for the first couple of games, and then suddenly somebody explodes through for some offensive output.
Yeah, I feel like both teams have got their filling out period almost done. And of course, like I said, it's a best of 7, it's a long series, but you still don't want to lose any games. And I think at this point, surely now both teams are warmed up. They've kind of got the nerves out of the way. They're starting to get a feel for how the other team plays. And the regular season, honestly, at this point does not matter, because this is new rosters, this is the finals. Anyone can win at any given moment. But really, I think watching both these teams so far is just going to be who makes more mistakes. Because so far, both teams haven't looked bad on the ball, but as soon as there's one mistake, they get punished for it, which good teams, rather great teams, will do.
I don't know exactly what's going on, because my game is completely bugging out, so I might be the one lagging out in this server, but looks like everything's okay for everybody else on the field, so I'm just going to toss it away. We'll go back to Sis. Hopefully things are a little bit better on your end, because I can't make heads or tails of what's going on right now. A goal goes through, and I'm not sure if that actually counts or not. Colby gets on the board for Santa Fe.
Well, while Pi is having a tornado through his internet, Colby is causing a devastation on the goal line of Santa Fe. Colby finally getting on the board. I was wondering when he was going to start heating up. You can't really ask for much better than that. A 1v3 flip reset straight to the net. Foam, a quick shot of kickoff, and just like that, Vancouver right back on the board. Well, you chose a good time to disconnect, Pi, because there's just chaos right now. Straight into a kickoff goal. Don't know what's happening, but it doesn't look like it's just affecting you.
Hey, you know what? 2 goals off of 2 kickoffs. It's already more offensive output in the first 30 seconds of a game than we've seen so far throughout really the entire series. Only question is, will it continue? And it seems like things might slow down just a little bit. Butter Saucer defers for Sifri. They'll try to go off of the backboard. Foam coming from inside the goal to make the save. Pops it out to Colby. Wants that sidewall rebound. Butter Saucer's shot will go wide of the intended target. Sifri directs it back into the corner, where Butter Saucer will rotate on through, grabbing that corner boost away from the defense. They'll get demoed off of the field by Foam and cause all three players for Vancouver to commit. Keep the ball out of the net for now, but Zort pushing, and Butter Saucer off the respawn, puts it off of the post. Again, the defense stands tall.
We really see the Santa Fe offense starting to heat up now. Cole leading the charge, just being a menace on the ball. And there's those Vancouver demos. It does lead to a double demo. So not going to be enough clearance here. Cefaldo trying to get a 50, goes straight to Foam. A dive from Butter Saucer. Butter Saucer diving as third man. And Foam will happily take that goal.
We talked about that defensive demolition structure just kind of stalling out the offense a little bit, and putting everybody back onto the back line for Santa Fe leads to challenges like this, where necessarily you don't have to go for that ball, but you could feel almost the desperation that comes from getting so close to the ultimate goal of putting the ball in the back of the net, but being denied at every turn. You feel like you have the advantage and you have to push while you have that advantage. Unfortunately, it turns on its head for the Kings.
Indeed it does. Still plenty of time left in this game. Butter Saucer straight to the backboard. Seeing quite a bit of offense from Santa Fe, and yet they still stare down a deficit. Quick pass infield. Actually, a quick shot, rather. Touch to the side. Father making a play for the boost. Going to leave the net. Forces a double commit. Zork is a little bit late. Can't quite capitalize on it. Wyatt looking for the fake. No boost. Just wasting time for his team. And honestly, when you see a player being that confident on the ball with no boost to his name, you know that's good signs for the Vancouver squad. A quick challenge here. Light's going to have to go early. Still getting 50. Maintains the boost and the ball. Saucer up early. The pass to Zorg. Zorg the fake over one. Can't quite get it over Foam. Still extended defense from this Vancouver team, who seems, well, really comfortable on the defensive line. They have not really looked panicky or nervous once this game so far on defense, and the team looks like they're flowing that well on that side of the field. It might be a little bit scared.
It's always interesting to see the philosophies that teams and players go for, especially when it comes to some of these teams that a defensively structured matchup like the one we currently have in front of us. When you look at how well Vancouver's playing from their own end, kind of wonder how long they could keep this up. The important thing is that they've been able to take advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them, both off of the kickoff and off of forced defensive errors by Santa Fe. So as long as they can keep their defensive structure intact, they have a pretty good chance, given what we saw them pull off in game 2. But the longer that this press comes through for Santa Fe, the more danger that they find themselves in, the more they find themselves at a resource deficit, because very few boosts to go around for everybody on the field for Vancouver, and multiple opportunities will go off of the post for Santa Fe. They still cannot find pay dirt.
Oh, and you just hate to see it. I really thought Zork was going to leave it for Butter Saucer right there. I felt like he had, or rather the other way around, I thought he had a completely free net, and he elected for the shot where both the Vancouver players were. Oh my goodness, this is 13 registered shots for Santa Fe, and they still can't find that second goal. Just non-stop defense from this Vancouver team. Still pounding on that door. Zork, the infield pass. Cole, a quick shot. It's denied again on the goal line. Vancouver looking like prime 2020 NRG right now. Just a menace on the defensive line. Santa Fe cannot get anything in the net.
Still, as great as this defense has been, you got to feel like it's going to be uncomfortable for Santa Fe to be able to force it through. The amount of pressure that they're under for Vancouver, just too much to handle, and eventually the boost deficit comes to a head, and Vancouver cannot survive the onslaught that has been the Santa Fe Kings so far in this game. You pointed out a lot of shots coming through, 16 if my caster math is correct, with 30 seconds left to go. That's kind of what happens when you play such a defensively focused style, is that you have to absorb a lot of shots and you have to be able to play almost perfect defense. Now it's on Santa Fe. They've got the momentum, they've got the opportunity, and they've got the go-ahead goal.
Zork with the picture-perfect placement. Look at this shot right behind Cifaldo underneath foam, and it bounces in. Oh my Lanza, goodness gracious. Santa Fe racking the pressure. 18 shots, and now all they got to do is hold the line. 12 seconds to go. Cifaldo in the corner has to get something. You got to go fast. Get it over one. Foam straight down. Over another. Quick pop. Light taking control. Oh, that's not the touch you want on the first one. Still up. Quick shot. No. Zork with the pre-jump, and that's gonna do it. Santa Fe, the relentless wave at the last second, managed to just sneak the game right past Vancouver.
And you want to say, at least from maybe somewhat of a biased perspective, that it was inevitable that Santa Fe was going to be able to break the Vancouver line at some point. But the reality is that Vancouver looked pretty good on defense for a majority of that game. They were making every save that was required. I mean, you look at this total, 12 saves is absolutely insane stat line to see from a team in a single game. But then you look across the field and you've got Santa Fe with, 18 shots. That's not really a sustainable game plan whenever you look at things over the course of a series. So I expect things to change a little bit as we progress further and we go into game number 4. But that is a very fantastic game from both of these sides. And unfortunately for Vancouver, they come out on the losing side of it and they find themselves down 2-1.
Well, I referenced that prime NRG team, and well, let's just say there's a reason that team fizzled out. That style of Rocket League just doesn't win you games in the current meta. We knew it was going to happen. I mean, goodness gracious, 18 shots. You think that's crazy? How about 80% field domination? That's almost unheard of now. Just seeing a team constantly relentless on the ball, nonstop boost consumption. Almost over 1,000 boosts was consumed more by Santa Fe than Vancouver. That is a ridiculous stat line. And if I'm Vancouver, I'm like, okay, hold on. What just happened?
Exactly. And at some point, you have to advance the ball further down the field. You can't really be so reliant on those kickoff resets and those transition gameplays whenever you're forced so far back into your zone, because if you're going to operate at that kind of a boost usage and also that resource deficit, you don't really have the opportunities to extend the offensive zone time that you would normally in a more structured offensive set. So while you have those good and multiple save opportunities and you try to get your chances on offense when you can, it really doesn't lend itself to long-term success, I don't think, which, kind of goes back to your point with 2020 NRG. So if Vancouver's able to kind of push the ball down the field and get themselves set up from a position other than their own goal line, I think they might find themselves a little bit more sustained success.
Well, they're already matching the total shot count they had from last game, so maybe they're listening a little bit at least. Foam, a quick demo into that backfield, trying to get some pressure. Vancouver, almost a minute here of total offense. Cole, oh my goodness, the 50. Almost straight into the net. Foam, straight up with Zork, looking to control Butterseltzer. Not enough boost to get around to that one. Zork also on fumes right now. Light's going to take time, also with no boost. Everyone on the field apparently doesn't have boost to their names. Free, quick pop, and it's a nice read from Buttersaucer. Santa Fe playing a little bit of extended defense of their own here. Being quite comfortable as we're past that 330 mark. A quick bump on 2 bumps on the back line is going to open space. A quick pass down, but I don't think Buttersaucer was quite ready for that one. The first real chance we've seen so far for either team this game, but it comes up empty-handed.
And you can see that play developing the entire way. We've seen them run that offensive set multiple times in this series, but like you said, a little bit of a lack of communication. Buttersaucer not prepared to receive that pass, even though it was relatively good. It caught out multiple defenders in unwanted areas of the field. Vancouver will collect as Light takes this to the near side wall, wants to go for an air dribble. Look at the pinch off the ceiling infield for Sifri, the rebound. Perhaps had Foam's name written on it, but they will have to turn and try and slow up this oncoming Santa Fe attack. Zork to the goal, it's in.
Well, Zork just has a knack right now for hitting these quick placement shots. A great pass from Buttersaucer, and a little bit of a questionable dive as third man there. Not sure that's quite a challenge you want to be making at midfield while your team's rotating for boost, but either way, great awareness from Zork to just snipe that one in for Santa Fe. Unrelenting goals, and Vancouver now is having quite a drought on the offensive side of things. They are still scoreless. Foam had a chance there, but great defense.
And I really don't necessarily hate the idea, right? You want to be able to hold the play up and allow your teammates to rotate in behind you and get yourself better situated for the attack that's going to come. But if you can't do that and buy your teammates enough time, well, it just leads to an unstructured counterattack. That's exactly what Santa Fe thrives on, and they've taken advantage of multiple times in this series. Light from their own goal line. The flip reset at midfield. Wants to find Sifri. Can't pick him out of the crowd. The ball goes back towards Foam on the Vancouver net. Sifri pops it high to the corner. Zork is there. It's going to be a cross. Is it available for Buttersauce or no? It's defended away at the last second, and Vancouver's off and running.
He takes the corner boost. He's going to maybe clear up a little bit of space, looking to get bumps. Where in the world is the rest of Vancouver? Out getting boosts. Dandelions in the field right now. Can't quite get anything off that counter. Here's a good chance. Sif, the pass to Light, and Light will gladly take advantage of that one. All of Santa Fe pushed up. A great counterattack here.
Outstanding team play, and you can see the redirect from Light. They're waiting for this pass upfield. They don't even need that 100 pad at the midfield line. They got just enough boost in the tank to get it over everybody. That overcommit from Santa Fe proving to be their downfall on the game-tying goal. But again, we've seen so much pressure come through, and Buttersaucer with an opportunity as Cole has the ball left on a platter from the initial save, and they get that goal right back.
Talk about forgetting about everything that just happened. Santa Fe said, oh, yeah, we got scored on. Let's just get it right back. Cole, a great shot through the middle. Just that pressure again from Santa Fe is so strong. And maybe it leads to a counterattack goal. Maybe it leads to an overcommit. But that unrelenting pressure, oh, it's just so fun to watch. And it's so hard to play against as a team. And I can see the frustration from Vancouver right now having to deal with this attack. Kolb, a lot of time on the ball, 50, but it's an early challenge by Foam. Zork, the sidewall read. Zork, top left placement. No! Denied by Foam. Santa Fe is clicking on all cylinders right now.
That would have been one of the plays of the season had that ball gone through. Fortunately for Santa Fe, the deficit remains 1, but time is not on their side. Foam calls off Sifri and will call their own number to push the ball further into the corner. Light rotating through. Sifri waiting, having to collect pads at the midfield line. Not a lot of boost in the tank once again for this Vancouver side. Buttersaucer trying to make them pay. Sifri tries to elevate. Zork will push it wide. Buttersaucer will get beat to that ball by Light, but the longer that this ball remains in the Vancouver side, the more it favors Santa Fe. Rebound off of the sidewall as Buttersaucer forces it down. Final 10 seconds on the screen. Vancouver looking for that quick strike. Quickly running out of time and running out of available chances, and this ball will go all the way to the opposite side of the field. Sifri tries to keep the ball up. Kolb with the double tap off of the backboard. Buttersaucer will put the ball in the dirt, and that's Santa Fe on series point.
My goodness. Santa Fe is hot right now. Zork 3 saves, Kolb 3 saves, nowhere near their shot count as last game, but honestly, it didn't feel much different. The pressure was still non-stop. Vancouver had a few more shots this time, 9 shots, but oh my goodness, Santa Fe. At this point, if I'm Vancouver, I'm like, listen, we got to change something here. This is getting absurd. They are getting, it feels like they're getting beat to almost every single ball. Like if they're even touching the ball, it's a terrible 50. It's getting sent right over their heads. They're low on boost. They have got to maintain this field domination, or at least win some of it towards the offensive side, or Santa Fe is going to run away with this NCS Finals. The last hope, the last chance here, if you're Vancouver looking for that repeat championship with Foam and Light, they got to get something here.
The physical play style, you can see the demo deficit for Santa Fe doesn't really seem to be impacting them at all. They're getting taken off the field. Hasn't really impacted their ability to perform on offense, and seemingly it's looking like it's putting Vancouver even further out of position, as that's a ground level fake from Colby, able to walk it into the net. That's not the start you're looking for if you're trying to extend the series for Vancouver, but it's exactly what you want if you're trying to close one out.
Cole showing us a little bit of the 1v1 talent there. Just complete nasty fake right there. Sif didn't have boost. Kind of was just left on an island by his teammates there. Starting off the game pretty much just like last game here for Santa Fe, looking to secure their names in the United Rogue rafters. Foam, quick challenge on the sidewall, not quite ready to watch his team die yet. Zork off the back wall, a bit of an awkward touch, going to lead to a quick shot, a great save from Cole. Butter Saucer's up early, but Light decided to fake that, try to bait him in, but again, there is no faking the Santa Fe team. They are on the ball, they're playing the ball, they don't care where you are, they are going to throw themselves at it.
And really, that might have been an opportunity for Vancouver to send a house and get something on the board early to counteract this pressure from Santa Fe, but they're choosing to play the same way that they've played the rest of the series. But as time further ticks away, they might have to adjust their game plan just a little bit, because if something doesn't change, well, then they're just going to continue to get the results that they've always gotten. Foam, limited boost, tries a soft touch to maintain possession, but Zork had other ideas as they sent that ball careening towards the net, requiring a save from Sifri. As the ball is rounded through from the corner, Zork wants to find Butter Saucer in the middle of the field, but the rotation will come through. Colby off of the backboard, not available. As Foam shuts that down at the point of attack. Two players get taken off the field, or at least, excuse me, just one. Demolition stalls things out for Santa Fe for the moment, but a quick clear puts things right back into the mixer. Zork wants a bump, they won't get it, and Vancouver struggling to get things going and get the ball out of their own end.
And you just see the confidence overflowing right now from Santa Fe. Cole was last as third man. It was pre-jumping off the backboard. If that doesn't show you how confident this team is, I don't know what will. Infield pass line denied. Cole snuffed that one out quite far away. Butter Saucer off the ceiling, full boost. Actually gets the bump. Unfortunate there was no touch there, but it works in the favor of Cole. Zork off the sidewall. Touch down to one. Backflips over Light. Sets up Sifri on the counter, looking to air dribble over one, but it's bumped for their efforts. Just trying to get any sort of 50s, and at this point, I don't mind throwing the house, just challenge everything. You've got to get something here. Some sort of offensive presence, a little bit of aggression, anything, because as soon as they're on offense for what feels like 3 to 4 seconds, and they're just playing defense right back again.
A lot of one and done opportunities, but that one opportunity that they get may be all that they need in terms of being able to extend the series, or at least force an overtime period and get themselves buy themselves an additional minute or two. Some more time would certainly go a long way. As it stands, under 2 minutes left to play. Sifri's going to get the walk around Zork, and they put it into a scoreable position for Light. No, it's sitting on the goal line, and the defense is still able to get back. Unbelievable. And really heartbreaking when it comes down to the offensive output for Vancouver. They're trying everything that they can. They have prime opportunities, and SFK still pulls through.
Hate to see it. Still time on the clock, though. Foam trying to get something going. Sifri, quite a bit of time, space, and boost. Looking to go to the backboard, but Cole was there to read it again. Oh, this is a great dunk from Foam, looking for the bump, but Zork pre-jumped. Where's the third man? Sif's gonna jump, takes the challenge straight down to the corner. Less than a minute to go. Foam infield pass. Light is too far away. That looks so good from the corner. Zork another clear. Foam missing the ball on the pre-flip. All right, let's not panic. Vancouver still clinging, trying to get something. They're only down a goal. Less than 45 seconds to go here, and they've got to get a goal. Cole off the ceiling. My goodness, he's peaking right now. Vancouver, you got to get something here.
Wanted that additional bout of insurance. 30 seconds left to determine if they're going to need that or not. Sifri to the backboard once again. Light had committed. Now it's Foam. Everybody's up for Vancouver. It's the last gasp, and it will not go their way. Cole puts the ball into an empty net. They've doubled their lead. They've got the insurance that they wanted, and now just 21 seconds stand between them and the Noodle Cup Series championship.
Desperation kicks in again. Vancouver, you've got to pull out the magic here on the kickoff. Foam straight off, looking for the demo attempt, and Cold is just going to fake, read it a mile away, playing like a stone cold killer right now. The Santa Fe team is not going to be stopped. Sith, the last chance to the sidewall, no double. Zork's going to hit it to the corner. It is impossible to win. The Santa Fe Kings are your Noodle Cup Series champions.
Season 18 comes to a close, and it goes out with a bang for the Santa Fe Kings. The storybook ending that they were hoping for, they have certainly delivered on that and more. Kolb, Zork, and Buttersaucer getting things done on the field, on Champions Field, and pushing things to a Game 5 victory over the Vancouver Wild, placed relatively similarly after the end of the regular season for both of these two teams, but only one team could come out on top, and that's your Santa Fe Kings. So congratulations to them. They will be your Noodle Cup Series champions for season 18.
Congratulations to both these teams for such a phenomenal season. But yet again, there can only be one champion that was crowned. And I mean, honestly, probably just Cole was heating up. The whole entire team was just playing on all cylinders. But it really felt like the momentum shifter was Kolb scoring that flip reset goal in game three. It just after that moment, it just was all downhill for Vancouver, all gas from the pedal there from Santa Fe. I mean, what a performance, what a close series overall, but that was just a treat to watch.
And I'll go back and say that even so far as Vancouver's lone game win, that game two was well, honestly one of the series of, or excuse me, one of the games of the season. You cannot tell me that a team is going to go in and make a defensive stand like that against 18 shots, 13 saves, and they still manage to find a way to win at least one game. It's unfortunate that they couldn't translate that effectiveness on defense to greater success in the series. But like I said, probably one of the more entertaining games that we'll see so far in Noodle Cup Series. But unfortunately for them, it was not enough. And Santa Fe will go on to win the Noodle Cup Series championship for season 18. And now that the season has officially wrapped up, I like to take this time at the end of every season to kind of go through a list of everybody involved and give shout outs and all that kind of stuff, and remind everybody just exactly what it is that we do here in United Rogue. So I know that we haven't necessarily had the broadcast presence that people are accustomed to, and that's kind of it's something that we're working on. Trust me, in the background, there's plans for that as we move forward into the next season. But for all the streams that we did have, I'm very appreciative of the time that everybody's been able to put in, all the broadcasters, commentators, and the match officials and production staff that we have in the background. Could not be done without them. And then obviously the day-to-day operations of the league could not be done without everybody on staff, everybody on individual franchise management, and the players as well. The league exists because of the players, and we cater to that every week that we have. So again, thank you so much for that opportunity to be able to put these fantastic series on stream week after week when we have the availability to do so. And then once again, shout out to chat as well. We would not be able to have these series on stream if nobody watched them. I mean, it makes things just a lot easier when it comes down to being able to put together a quality product week in and week out and give these players the screen time that they deserve. And that's one of the hallmarks, I think, ever since I came into the league, is that everybody should have an opportunity to play on stream at least once a season. So hopefully we get back to that sometime soon. So I'll leave it with you, Sis, to close us out.
I mean, you can't really add much more to that. I mean, this whole entire league is just so much fun, and there's so many hard and dedicated people that run it. And I think anyone watching this should really consider, supporting by getting some merch, or even just supporting by subscription to the Discord. I mean, these people put so much time and effort into just giving everybody a little bit fun, a little bit of escape from the drudges of the real world, of our jobs, of heartbreak, hurt, failure. I mean, this is all just for fun. It's community. And if you've ever met any of these people in person at LAN events, I mean, it just really, you just love this group of people, and they're so wholesome, and they just really care about the community. And I think there's so many bright things ahead for this league. I think there's a lot of good leaders, a lot of people that really care, and hopefully, like you said, we can kind of get back to a place of just fun streams. I mean, there was times we remembered when there was 110 people watching, finals, getting excited for playoffs. And I think the league has the potential to do that. The game has the potential to do that. We all are here because we love the game of Rocket League. But you know what else we love, Pi? Is going out with a bang. And I don't think we could have done it any better than that. So I appreciate everyone that tuned in, gave us such a fun time tonight. Season 19 of United Rogue is going to head your way soon enough. So stay tuned, stay active. There's going to be tons and tons and tons of off-season events planned. So we will be catching you on the next stream of United Rogue.